In today's video I will be covering 5 historical settlements that would have fit nicely into Alexander Total War, and why. Also, please check to make sure you are subscribed. YouTube has been deleting a lot of my subs lately, so yeah, just double check. Enjoy. I love Alexander Total War, but its map, it's not that great. Not just the blocky terrain or weird landscapes, not just the trees in water or India being completely cut off from the rest of the world, not just whatever this is meant to be, but even the settlements chosen could have been much better. Maybe they were better at one stage, yet cut to make the unique victory objective easier. It's possible. Gameplay comes first. Number 5. Pasagade, the former capital of the Achaemenid Empire and home to the tomb of Cyrus the Great. The capital was moved to Persepolis later by Darius. This settlement, therefore, has enough historical backing to make it onto this list. Reason why it's only in 5th place, however, is because of gameplay. The settlement would start just a few tiles away from Persepolis, which may be a little too close, and so I can understand why the devs cut this one. Number 4. Tyrus. Basically, I just felt the northern barbarian regions were lacking a little bit too much. Of course, historically there were fewer settlements here, and it's not the main focus of the game, so it does make sense. Yet there's too much empty land between Byzantium and Tanais. This settlement has very little historical significance at this point in its history, yet I feel it would just add a little bit more gameplay to the overall campaign and make the map at the north feel much less lonely. In a way, the opposite to Pasagade. Number 3. Sidon. This settlement would rest on the eastern bank of the Mediterranean, just north of Tyre. Historically, Sidon was not as major as Tyre, yet the settlement is here to reflect something else, more to show the vast amount of cities that were conquered by Alexander along the eastern Mediterranean coast. This would add emphasis on the development of this Phoenician region, and would emphasise the lack of development in the large desert to its east and in Egypt. This one is here to represent development in the region more thoroughly. Honourable mention time. Now, Alexander never conquered Sparta. Sparta at this point had become a shadow of its former self, but still was independent. No longer was regarded with so much warrior prestige as it once was, so Alexander never bothered, not even seeing them as being worth conquering. However, Macedon did conquer Athens, which at this time was a much larger and wealthier city. So for my honourable mention, I would remove Sparta and just add Athens instead. It would fit so much better. Reason it did not make it onto this list, well, it's a bit of a weird one, as it requires me to remove a settlement first, so I thought it would be safe just to put it as an honourable mention. I guess along with India being reachable as well. Number 2. Siwa. I struggled with this one, going back and forth with which one should be second and which one should be first. I decided first place was better, but Siwa almost had it. Anyway, Siwa was a key part of the Alexander story. Siwa was a far out region built around an oasis. Alexander visited this part of the world, and apparently they described him as being the son of Zeus, the true pharaoh of Egypt, and this greatly increased Alexander's ambition, changing him. Even during the time of the Diadochi, Ptolemy used Alexander's pharaohship to secure his own governance over the region. If it was not for this visit to Siwa, the world of Alexander, and especially after, would have been incredibly different. Gameplay wise it kind of works and does add more, yet the history is the real reason why this is here. And here we are at last, number 1, and I have gone with the Mediterranean islands, Rhodes, Crete and Cyprus, to be larger and have worthwhile settlements on them. Of course, adjust the victory objectives to keep it balanced. Gameplay wise, Persia starts off with a massive unchallenged fleet in the Mediterranean, which makes it very difficult to send troops by sea. I like this. However, as the game progresses and you get money spare, there is no reason to actually destroy this fleet. It just sits there, going unused. What I think would be great is for there to be a reason to actually build a fleet and sink the Persians later into the game, once you have conquered and have resources spare. And then use your sea dominance to take extra settlements, adding to the victory objective. Also, I feel Alexander Total War is too frontline heavy. The provinces you conquer, you never really get to go back to and do anything with, you just leave them. This will force the player to actually have to go back to Greece, get new generals, new soldiers and a fleet and conquer more, making it less of a push east heavy type of game and a little bit more general empire management and solidification type of game. Also, historically, these islands were inhabited and would have been of value to Alexander. This fits very historically and I think it would be great for gameplay as well. Anyway, that has been my list. Check out the playlist of all episodes if you want to see more, or anything else that is on my channel. Feel free to comment if you agree or disagree. I have been MELKOR, hope you enjoyed, hope you learnt something, but until tomorrow's video, goodbye.